Well, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has criticized what he calls global silence on violence against Myanmar's Rohingya Muslims. Zarif further said international action was crucial to prevent what he called further ethnic cleansing in this Southeast Asian nation. The top Iranian diplomat also called on the UN to do more to stop the violence. Scores of people have been killed in Myanmar's Rakhine state amid unprecedented violence in recent weeks. An estimated 5,000 Rohingya Muslims have so far crossed the border into Bangladesh over the past few days alone, amid a harsh crackdown by authorities. Let's cross over to London, joined by the head of the Islamic Human Rights Commission, Mr. Masoud Shajari. Thanks so much for being with us. Now we hear the Iranian foreign minister talking about the situation. Would it be effective if more Muslim countries actually talked about it and also tried to put the necessary pressure to bring about a change inside of Myanmar?
Absolutely. I think it's extremely welcoming to see that Mr. Zarif has actually raised this issue. The reality is that this has been going on for a very long time. It's resulting almost to sort of total destruction and cleansing of all Rohingya Muslims. They were estimated around 4 million, and now there are sort of less than 500,000 left in the country, and they're being attacked daily, monthly, and persistently. Something needs to be done. I mean, with the exception of Iran, Turkey, and Malaysia, no other Muslim or non-Muslim country have actually raised any issue whatsoever out of this whole very blunt and very public and very brutal destruction of lives, of systematically destroying the lives of the Rohingya Muslims. And something needs to be done. It really is outrageous that it's being done in such a way, so openly, so publicly, and you know, even the democracy movement in Myanmar is supporting it, and something needs to be done.
Well, it's interesting. You talked about that very few Muslim countries are even talking about it. So you say that something needs to be done. I'm trying to understand what type of pressure needs to be implemented by which countries in order to bring about this change.
Well, I mean, look at the sort of the movement and actions which are taking place already. You know, you've got Saudi Arabia sort of putting sanctions against Qatar, denying them food, denying them access to sort of Hajj is you know, it's outrageous, and nothing being done whatsoever, not a finger being lifted to stop this onslaught of innocent Muslims, you know, one of those most deprived communities in the world. And, you know, we've got sort of armed forces being used in Yemen. We've got sort of all these activities, and which is encouraging civil war in places like Syria. A huge amount of money being spent by the Saudis and their allies in killing innocent people, but not a penny being spent in defending innocent people, and no political will also. And I said, with the exception of Malaysia and Turkey and Iran, we've seen no action whatsoever. And when it comes to the international community, those champions of human rights and justice and democracy, we see that, you know, their silence is also deafening, and nothing being done whatsoever to preserve the lives of innocent, and to actually establish the fact that these are citizens of Myanmar. They're even being denied that basic acknowledgement that they're citizens where they have lived for thousands of years.
Thank you so much for being with us, the head of the Islamic Human Rights Commission, Mr. Masoud Shajari, out of London.